Good morning.
Morning, Melanie.
How are you doing?
Fantastic. Where are you calling it from?
I'm actually in Irvine, California.
Very cool. How long have you been out there for?
Just about a year. So alongside of working on my startup, I'm doing a master's program at the University of California, Irvine, and it's a master's in innovation and entrepreneurship, and it's all focused on helping you launch your business.
Is it helping?
Yeah, I mean, it's really getting me connected to great people. And I've learned a lot in like specifically my venture capital class and some of my classes that are set up around like building your pitch deck and building your
Yeah.
concept paper and things like that.
Okay. Well, I will grade you at the end and let you know what you get.
Sounds good.
I made
Do you
you
run
a.
a bike shop or are you just a big biker?
What's the right answer? I'm a biker, so that's my mountain bike, and then my road bike, and then that's a mirror. So it looks like I got four bikes.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's deceiving. Do you bike at all?
I do not, but my boyfriend's really into it. And here in Irvine, there are like biker clubs. Like randomly, they'll like fill the street and there'll be like 25 of them. And they ride so fast, but they talk to each other while they do it. They like yell at each other all across the road. And so they're a noisy crew when they come through and they're pretty entertaining.
Is this a casual group or is it for more for like a workout?
I think it's a casual group, like it's their social hour kind of thing. There's lots of ads of like Irvine Bike Club or
Uh,
Over 40s Bike Club and things like that.
Denver, there's a group called Denver Cruiser Ride. I think that's the acronym. And they every Wednesday, I guess throughout the year. I'm not sure if it ends during the winter, but usually they have themes that people like dress up and they bike around Denver, and it's a good time. I used to live in Chicago, and it was called Critical Mass, and it was the last Friday of every month. We all get together in one spot. There would be hundreds of people, and we take over Chicago and cause a lot of traffic.
Oh my gosh, so fun. I'm very familiar with Chicago because I'm from Iowa and we'd go there all the time. So I cannot imagine biking through that city because, yeah, it's hard to even drive through there.
Did you participate at all in the Iowa race, that bike race? I can't remember.
RAGBRAI.
Yes.
So my family would be like a house on the stops. So like it's a very long race and they travel in groups, I'm sure you know, and they stop multiple nights. And in the
Yeah.
cities, they have homes that volunteer to like open up their backyards and kind of like we basically would throw a like luau in our backyard for the bikers that were coming through, and then they'd all set up camp in our yard. So I have lots of memories of them coming through and being a lot of fun.
Nice. Do
But
you
I
want
never wrote it.
do you want to practice sharing your screen?
Sure. Let me see.
Good morning, Paul.
Okay, let me see. Are you looking at, oh, it says loading. Hold on.
Is there a 1 million cups Irving?
Yeah, there is. And I pitched to them just a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
They're a smaller group, but they are very fun to pitch to because a lot of them are retired, successful entrepreneurs that are kind of at the end of their career and they like to hear what other people are working on. Okay, for some reason, good thing we're testing this. Do you just see a black screen that says loading?
Yeah.
That's what I see too. Okay, hold on here. Trying to reconnect. Oh, that's probably why. So I have pitched at Irvine and then Kansas City. because I went to my undergraduate in Kansas, and that's where I kind of got involved with 1 Million Cups originally.
Oh, really?
And then someone there actually recommended that I do Denver because they were like, that's a chapter that a lot of people either travel to after us or
Really?
now it's kind of virtual travel. But yeah,
Yeah.
someone there recommended that I pitch to you all.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you, Kansas City, for the recommendation.
Okay, now do you see a presentation?
Yeah.
Okay,
Is
perfect.
it Shaka?
It is Shaka, yep.
Okay. Just want to make sure I pronounce it correctly.
Yes.
That's awesome.
All right, I can stop my share though if you like kick something off at the beginning.
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Do a little intro. And I would love, since you've been to other chapters, open to feedback on how we're doing things here as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Happy to.
Are you going to be presenting in any other 1 Million Cups?
Right now I don't have it's a pretty easy application process once you've applied once.
Yeah.
So I don't have any other outstanding applications, but I probably will add some. I've talked to other people that are kind of calling it like the 1 Million Cups tour, and that is a much more efficient thing to do when we're all remote. And it's such a great way to like get feedback. And my product specifically is not limited to like just my city.
Yeah.
So it's good to hear like, oh, this is a resource group in our city that HR reps all get together and maybe you could connect with them or things like that that would help me get into different markets across the US.
That's funny that it's the 1 Million Cups tour.
Sure. Yeah, you haven't had any other tourists yet?
Oh, we've had. No one said it that way.
Yeah, I coined that, or I got that term from someone else. Didn't make it myself.
Awesome. You're going to be the only presenter for today. What we'll do is I'll do my intro. I intro you as well. You'll present. But after your presentation, we're going to go into breakout rooms where the audience members are going to chat about the presentation and come up with like a question or a feedback. So we'll do that for about 10 minutes and they come back and they'll have something more prepared to give you feedback on or ask questions on as well. So once you finish, don't really ask like, no, I'm ready for questions. Just kind of end your presentation and I'll just take over from there.
Okay, that sounds good. And will I be sent to one of the breakout rooms or will I kind of be waiting for them all to return?
You'll be hanging out with me.
Sounds good. Okay.
Unless you want to get into a breakout room and tell them what to give you feedback on.
No, I've done that before, and I feel like they aren't as maybe candid in their conversations when I'm right there, or also like I instantly try and chime up to answer their questions right away when maybe the conversation would be better if I wasn't there. So I think that's probably for the best.
Yeah. These breakout rooms, I find out with the host, it's kind of hard to find where I should go. It's easy to tell everybody else, like, go to breakout rooms, and then I get stuck by myself. I'm like, oh, that didn't work out as planned.
Yeah, just waiting for everyone to come back.
Yeah. All right. Should get a lot of people just jump in at the last second. What are your plans for the Super Bowl?
Well, actually, we are big Chiefs fans because we are from school in Kansas. So I'm definitely going to watch it. But this weekend, I'm actually doing a road trip up through like Mammoth and Tahoe and then back down through San Francisco. So it's a quick little loop. So I'll have to find somewhere that has a restaurant patio open with a TV so that we can quick log in and watch it.
All right. Good luck.
Thank you. But I'm really excited because I have lived here in California for a year. And LA is about 45 minutes north of where I live. And I haven't gone any further north than that in a year. So I felt like it was time to see a little more of the landscape that's here.
Well, you're a rebel. So.
Well, I'll get some more of your terrain. I'm going to have mountain views this weekend. And I've been to Denver a few times. It's great.
Maureen, did you dye your hair?
No, but I cut it. So
Okay.
like
The colors
probably Probably cut some of the blonde off, and now, like, during the summer, it starts to turn blonde and then cut it off.
You look like a new person. I cut my own hair, if that's worth bragging about.
Wow. Stop. Talent.
You need 3 mirrors is how it works, and just discipline and practice. I've been doing it for almost 6 years, and people don't really notice or say it looks bad, or they're just being nice. I enjoy it. It feels good to kind of cut your own hair, I guess. I'm not sure your own hair, but
I was shaving my head for a while. It was nice, but it got too cold in the winter for me. I couldn't do it.
Yeah, I tolerate it, but I'm due for one. Once it touches my ears, is my trigger to get a haircut. Personal preference. All right, people are starting to join.
When my gray hairs are showing is when I get a haircut.
Oh, it's gray hair is a cool look, right?
Yeah, Greg, I bet you'd look very distinguished with gray hair.
I'm gonna get going here. I'm gonna share a bunch of links in the Zoom chat. Get overwhelmed. I'm gonna get going. People are joining. This is great. That's all the information you need. I'm gonna share my screen. Just some housekeeping. Please mute yourself when you're not speaking. There is the raise hand button. It's right now under the reactions button of Zoom, and then you'll see the raise hand button. Welcome, use the chat feature in Zoom to share links or connect with others. And I also recommend changing your name in Zoom. Top right corner of your square, you can select that button and you can go to rename. You can do maybe first name, job title, first name, company, so we can get to know each other a little bit better. Let's get started.
1 Million Cups is a weekly educational program developed by the Constant Foundation. Over the years, we've added more cities. Creates a great energy here to see what's happening across the country.
What I've learned from other entrepreneurs is very, very valuable. Sitting in a room with other people that have ideas too, it helps people to leave thinking, you know what, my idea is worth something. It's worth pursuing. It's worth going after it. Even if it looks like a challenge, I should still go out and try to do it.
Good morning, my Hollywood squares. My name is Nick Campion. I'll be your MC for today. I sent my LinkedIn link. You're welcome to add me. Love to connect. Here at 1 Million Cups, we meet every Wednesday at 9 a.m. on Zoom until further notice. We're here to do virtual coffee or tea at every meeting. So if you want to show off your coffee cup, welcome to do that. This is mine. This is what I'm rocking today. Awesome. Anyone have one they want to show off? Any cool sayings? I don't know. Trying something different here. Anyway, we're here to do 6-minute presentations, not pitches. We're going to connect, not network. After the presentations, we do 15 to 20 minutes of audience feedback or questions. This is a great place for entrepreneurs to be vulnerable, open, and transparent. And we're here to discuss ideas, not people. I'm looking at the room right now. Who is new to 1 Million Cups Denver today? Anybody? Any newbies? I don't think so. Okay, awesome. Well, welcome back, everyone. I'm sending out a poll. Please fill it out. It's asking if you're new to 1 Million Cups, if you consider yourself an entrepreneur, and who's going to win the Super Bowl. Hot topic for this week. Reminder, we do have a website, 1millioncups.com/Denver. This is where you go to see who's presenting each week. You can also sign up for a free membership. We send out a weekly email every week about who's presenting. We are promoting our LinkedIn group, 1 Million Cups Denver. This is a great place to connect with others, and also all the links that happen on Zoom get lost at the end of the meeting, so I save them and I repost them on the LinkedIn group. So please join it so you can get that information that we shared during the meeting. Quick shout out to our sponsors. We have Enterprise, Founders Craft, Mill State Coffee, Good Elephant, Pono Media, Colorado Lending Source, Rocky Mountain Photography, The Commons on Champa, and WeWorks Labs. Let's give all of them a big round of applause. Awesome. Moving on to the organization team, myself, Gregorius, Kevin, Carter, Allie, thanks for doing everything you do. And if anybody's interested in joining the team, please reach out to one of us. We'd love to have you be part of the organization team. Now we're gonna do some introductions, looking for 3 volunteers. I might do 4 today. We only have 1 presenter. So just looking for people to introduce themselves, name, what they do, where they're from, anything you want to share, a hobby, or what do you think about the Super Bowl? I don't know. Just trying to get to know each other a bit better. So looking for some volunteers. Anybody want to start off? If not, I'll just pick on some people. Ben, are you volunteering?
I'll volunteer.
Okay.
Yeah, hi everybody. My name is Ben. I'm the creator of the Beanie Sleeper. So the Beanie Sleeper is a dual purpose head wrap with a built-in contoured sleep mask that blocks light and keeps you warm and comfy without overheating. You can wear it as a beanie cap to stay warm. Then you can lower the front and take advantage of the built-in sleep mask to grab some Z's. And just shameless plug, this is the Beanie Sleeper. Hat over your eyes, built-in sleep mask. It's awesome.
Thank you, Ben. Ben, share a link to it. Promote it.
Absolutely. At Beanie Sleeper is my IG. And if you follow me, you'll get to see my new IG live next week called Sleeping with Ben.
That's awesome. Perfect.
That's clever.
Let's go. Hannah, would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure. Hey, I am Hannah Drain Taylor, co-founder of Delta Awesome. I'll drop a link. Do a couple things, but mostly support founders over the long term. And we also have a founders only community, no investors, no vendors, no selling, just founders working through stuff. I'm in Denver. And am I missing any questions?
It's your time to just shine, whatever you want to share.
I think I've shined. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Thank you, Hannah. Awesome. Is Sydney there? Sydney, you want to do a shout out at all? Trying to see these non-video people.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'm Sydney Larson. I am not a co-founder or founder, but I did go to school for entrepreneurship and just love the entrepreneurship community and networking with people like you. So I am really just here an observer. Really love what you guys do. Thank you for bringing new ideas and new jobs and companies to the market. I love entrepreneurship and I'm just here to support. I work at Boom Supersonic. It's a startup in Denver trying to bring back supersonic commercial travel. So our commercial aircraft will be Mach 2.0. So much faster than your commercial flights currently, be London to New York in just about 4 hours. So.
That's awesome. Thank you, Sydney.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
You're welcome. Ashley, I see your hand is raised. Do you want to say something?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, hi, I just wanted to say hello. I'm presenting next week, so I'm really looking forward to that. I'm the founder of A Squared Online. Oh, sorry. Don't know what happened to my voice. We help entrepreneurs build freedom into their businesses through systems and a great relationship with a virtual assistant. Started that about 3 years ago, and the big kind of new thing in my life is I'm writing a book coming out in April, so I'm in the second round of revisions right now, and it is brutal. So wish me luck.
Wish you luck, Ashley. Hopefully you don't get any paper cuts from that. Gorgeous.
I already got one.
Awesome. Well, thanks for those introductions. Later today, we're going to do some breakout rooms so we can get to know each other a little bit better. Also, community announcements. So if there's anything you want to share with the room, start thinking of what you might want to say. Here at 1 Million Cups Denver, we're open to a variety of different presentation types. If you have an idea that you just thought of, you want to get some feedback on, apply to present. We'd love to give you our thoughts. If you have a product, you're already to market, you got some customers, you're ready for some really good feedback, apply to present. If you're looking to raise money and have an investor presentation, we'd love to hear that as well. If you're a business expert, say you're really good at finance or marketing or some aspect that a startup needs to be informed about, we'd love to have your presentation. Organizations related to startups and also past presenters as well. And now we're going to move on to our presenter for today, Shaka Culture. Shaka is a web application that helps companies build strong cultures, increase collaboration, and boost employee engagement. Our features focus on connecting your employees across all departments, breaking down silos, and helping culture scale. Let's give a big round of applause to, wait for it, Melanie.
Thank you. I love the sound effects that you have going.
Yeah.
Go ahead and share my screen. So thank you for welcoming me to 1 Million Cups Denver. As I mentioned, I have been to Denver a couple times, but I am located out in Irvine, California currently. So the pandemic, COVID, has given me a great opportunity to come to some other cities and hear feedback from entrepreneurs all over. So without further ado, this is my company, Shaka Culture application. I want to confirm that you can see my screen.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, perfect. So I want to start my presentation by telling you a little bit of a story. 1 year ago today, I was working my job as a financial analyst at a successful startup company. We had raised $80 million from some of the largest venture capital firms in Silicon Valley, and we were hiring out the wazoo. But with all this growth, the culture started to fall apart without us even noticing because we weren't investing in it. And as an analyst, there was a few things that we saw happen. First, productivity fell. Our revenue growth slowed down and we started missing our targets. Our customer satisfaction scores were dropping. Employees were leaving us just months after they joined us. And those investors who had just opened their wallets to us were no longer quite as successful or quite as happy with the success of their investment. So this is where the idea was born for Shaka, a platform that would connect and engage employees no matter how fast their company was growing, where they were located, or if they were in a remote world. So currently our platform, Shaka, has 3 features: connections, competitions, and communities. But I think the easiest way to explain it is to kind of walk you through what the life of a user would look like. So say the user's name is Sarah, and Sarah's employer just signed up with Shaka. So she goes in and registers, and inside of the connections feature, she can set the frequency of how often she'd like to be paired to meet someone new at her company. Our pairing system tries to pair people either in different office locations, different departments, someone that you haven't met before. From there, we integrate with Outlook and Google Calendars so that we take all of the work out of networking. We go ahead and find available time for you and that new colleague, schedule a 20-minute meeting, and kick off an email that looks something like this with some conversation starters to help fill that 20 minutes. Back in the platform, Sarah could see that her company is running a challenge. It's a canned food drive competition. So she can join a team, make submissions based on how many cans she's collected, and see a live leaderboard. That's just one example of a challenge that you can run, but our challenges feature is completely customizable. So here are some other examples. One of my favorite ones to share is that one of my beta customers ran a challenge that was, how many avocados can you eat in a week? So as long as it can be tracked, it can be a challenge inside of Shaka. Lastly, our communities feature, which is the newest one. We're just working on rolling out and getting our beta testers companies using it. Here, Sarah can see what other groups exist at her company and hopefully find employees with mutual interests or backgrounds to her so she can help get assimilated and acclimated to her company. Inside of the community, like a volunteer page, she can see upcoming announcements, discussion boards, but also they can post upcoming events where their teams can get together via Zoom or in person. So it's just a place where you can find other people similar to you. The overall market for team collaboration softwares is $18.3 billion, but of that, 346 million is dedicated to boosting employee engagement. So based on the market share that our competitors have penetrated, we believe that $27 million is an achievable sum. So speaking of those competitors, here are the closest ones. Maybe you recognize some of the brands, but a lot of people haven't heard of Espresso, which is what I would consider our closest competitor. They are also an employee engagement suite where they're trying to build different experiences for employees to put together into one engagement platform. As you'll notice on the Shaka line there, we do have some X's. There are things I still want to grow and add to our platform, especially like people analytics tools to really see how the engagement is growing across their company by using Shaka. So I mentioned we have beta customers. Our traction to date is that we have built our MVP and we have about 200 beta users across 4 companies. Some are smaller companies, some are larger. And this is the feedback we got from Kansas City Big Brothers Big Sisters, who has now been with us 6 months, and they did their 6-month survey. And we're really excited about how enthusiastic their team is about the product, and they all want to continue using it, so that is a good sign. Some brief revenue projections here just to get you, what is the word I'm looking for? Acclimated to how we're priced. So it is a monthly subscription, and I'm starting out our pricing around $3, but that will grow as we continue to add more features and grow and expand our brand. Our goal for 2021 is to land 10 paying customers. So my last slide here is just about myself and my co-founder. I have a finance background, as I mentioned, and I am currently enrolled in a Master's of Entrepreneurship and Innovation program at UCI. That's a part-time program while I work on Shaka, and it's all about helping founders be able to grow and successfully scale businesses. And then my co-founder, Austin, is a software developer, super talented, was able to bring this idea for Shaka to life in just about 6 months here. So really grateful to have a technology-minded person to bring this to life. And that is all I have today. Thank you.
All right, let's start off with a big round of applause.
Nick, I have a new thing on my in my rig. I can do this.
Thank you. I need a full-time applause guy, I guess. So since we only have one presenter, what we're going to do is we're going to break out in breakout rooms. I'm going to put about 3 to 4 people in each room. And I want you guys just to talk about Shaka culture, come up with either 2 things of feedback or 2 questions to ask as a group. And if there's extra time, just kind of network as well. So I'm going to send you guys off. Hopefully you can either assign one person to present your statements, your feedback, or questions, or however you want to do it. I'm not going to assign how to structure all this, but we're going to do some breakout rooms for about 10 minutes and we'll come back and we'll do our Q&A. Here we go. Oh, shoot. I'm going to assign you to 1. Melanie, just hang out here. I don't know if you
Okay.
guys for a room.
I got an invite, but I said no to it.
Good call. All right, what'd you think?
Good. I probably should have had another cup of coffee this morning. I was stumbling on my words a little bit there, but
I need to like stop and have some type of liquid because my mouth gets dry from talking, and you start stumbling because of that.
yeah, I've been trying to incorporate more of a story feel into my pitch. I think I have actually an upcoming pitch competition, in a month. It's at the end of March. I'll do my first pitch, and it has to be a full 10-minute pitch. So that's why I'm trying to incorporate those
You there?
stories.
So it's really important to me, and these pitches have been great practice.
Yeah, for the businesses I run, we really try and focus on that story. You there?
Oh, my headphones just cut out for a second there, but I'm back. What did you say?
The story element of a presentation or just any business, it's so important on connecting your customer and using the element of story to do that. It's really important. Even not even like you can talk about your story, but also a story of a customer and how they used your product and solved their problem.
Yeah, absolutely. And I guess I could probably incorporate more of that now that I have some feedback gathered from those beta customers.
Have you ever heard of winning by design?
I have. I actually have read, they have a couple books around like software sales, and I'm trying to really acquaint myself with that because I'm hoping to go to market here at the beginning of March and really dive into the sales process. So I have been reading their books.
I have, if you want, I can share their YouTube playlists and then PDF files that relate to them. And I've gone through the training because I trained sales reps using Winning by Design, and just understanding good sales process can kind of really tailor how to focus your product and messaging, because what you're really doing, it's not about features really. Like, no one really cares about features. People just care about, can you solve my problem? And only way to do that is understand their problem in the sales meetings. So you spend most of the time just understanding their pain points, what they're going through, and then you finally connect the dots like, oh, okay, these are your problems, and this is our solution that's going to fix these problems. And then here's a story about a customer who is similar to you and using our product, and because we solved the problem. So
that makes sense.
I love it. I think it, for software sales, it's like the standard.
Absolutely. It would be great if you could share those either in the message or afterwards in an email is great.
Yeah, let me put on my things to do. I have part of our private business wiki, but I need to put it on my own personal wiki because it's gold. So winning by design, I'll work on that. It's just interesting here. A lot of times in these presentations, you talk about like, here's everything that we can do, but it's like, I don't care what you can do. Can you solve my problem? Because if you can, then I'll buy your product.
Absolutely.
What's up? We're in breakout rooms right now.
Oh.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Presentation.
Yeah, I saw there's like 3 people. I was like, geez, it's not a.
No, Melanie, you want to do a quick pitch, another practice to Brandon about Shaka culture?
Yeah, absolutely. So basically, my platform is all about connecting and engaging teams and employees. So my focus is on looking at companies that either have great culture already, but they want to scale it and keep and sustain that culture, or also look at companies that are maybe struggling to keep their employees connected, whether that be because they're in different office locations or they're working remote. And so I've built a platform that kind of automates different experiences where employees can connect and meet each other either through 20-minute one-on-one meetings that are supported with conversation starters, or through communities of employees with similar interests and backgrounds, or team-based challenges. So working on building a suite of employee engagement tools, and I currently have about 200 beta users across 4 companies, and I'm looking to launch here in March.
That's really cool and a good idea, especially with the COVID world kind of changing up. Not everyone's in the same office. Is it like when you say companies, like, is it like its own environment in each company, or like if I work for company X, can I talk with someone in company Y?
Currently, it's its own environment for each company. I do have a community that is looking at using it that they're like a Gen Z board. And so it's in like within their city, it's one representative from all these major companies, and they want to use it to like help connect their network. So that would be my first experience like working with employees from different companies. So I'm considering how that would work in our suite. But yeah, currently it's one your company has its own instance and its own environment to customize to itself.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. So I know there's similar stuff with that aren't like just held to their own company. So I imagine like if business owners are probably going to want it to be held to their own company, because this like then you have like employees accidentally sharing secrets and stuff like that. But
Right, or leaving. One of my goals is to
yeah,
help employee turnover get better, whereas maybe if you were connecting people with other companies,
yeah.
it's like, oh, I
So you
found a new
talk
job
with like
with
company
Shaka.
Y, and you're like, you guys get what kind of benefits?
But I
One
also
Interesting.
I could see like a benefit of maybe everyone that's under one investment umbrella, like
Yeah,
say an investor invests in all these businesses, they might want them to kind of share synergies and could possibly want some cross interaction there. So
yeah,
that has been something that crossed my mind. It would be a lot more functionality to build out.
yeah. And I mean, if you have the capability, you can build it out so that you have like differences too. So you have like one environment for one company, and then what is called shotgun culture.
Shaka, Shaka.
Oh.
So the Shaka, this is a Shaka. And in Hawaii, it means like welcome to our community or hello neighbor. So that's how we got our name.
Shotgun's different.
Yeah, that was more playful environment in that one. I feel like I need to take some marketing tips from the Beanie Visor guy who he did a brief 1-minute pitch at the beginning of our meeting, and he has some fun programs he's running. I'd let him run
Which
my
guy?
marketing.
Ben, he's in New York. He has the
Oh yeah, the beanie sleeper guy.
yeah, and he's
Yeah, I know.
having an event called Sleeping with Ben.
I hadn't heard that yet. Yeah, he's a good guy. It is kind of weird. I know him. There's a coffee club that I go to that I met him in before I saw him in 1 Million Cups, and it's like weird that networking in COVID world is like meeting people in like New York, and there's like some groups I go to in Austin, and it's all these different places now.
That's awesome. You're like, yeah, we're friends now. We might never be
There's one group in Austin that I really like, because like I used to like pick out the groups I really liked in like the Denver metro area that I would stick to, and now I have one in Austin, Texas that I enjoy doing. It's like it's so bizarre that who am I?
Yeah, and then you wonder post-COVID world, like when is the
What's
day
gonna
gonna
happen?
come that you get kicked out? Like, oh,
Yeah.
I can no longer go anymore.
Yeah. You're like, we're back in person. You're like, it's a bit of a drive.
Their membership falls in half because
Yeah.
they can't have other people.
Yeah. Well, it'll be interesting see like how stuff changes. Nick, like for 1 Million Cups, are you gonna keep broadcasting these? Like even when we're back in person, or?
Oh, TBD. I don't know. Like it sounds cool, but it also sounds like a lot of work, and I'm not sure if I want to do all that.
It's not too bad.
Yeah.
Actually, if you want to come, if you're not busy, we're doing one of my workshops, and I have the setup I use to broadcast them online. Cost me like $150, think.
We don't have money.
We might have to. I don't know.
Okay, so we're gonna close all the rooms here. Bring everyone back. All right.
There, I just put in the chat if you want to check it out. At
150
this
bucks-
point,
150
because we have a
bucks a
whole
year?
bunch of people that signed up online, but not too many in person, we're trying to help out the restaurant. So at this point, it's just like a happy hour.
You said it was 150 bucks a year, Brendan?
Huh? No, for all the record, like the equipment, so the microphones, the big giant light thing, everything I need to be able to do these online. So like you see, there's only
you
like
built a
4
production
people
studio
that have
for
RSVP'd
$150.
for the in-person thing, but we got I think like 20 between Eventbrite and Meetup and all the places that RSVP'd for the online version. So basically we just set them up so that it's in like an in-person event, but I can broadcast it online and people can tune in that way too. So we get people from other states and everything.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's
Like-
you can get a lot larger reach that way.
Yeah. But no, like there is microphones that you have that you can plug into the tablet that we broadcast the Zoom from, and the big giant ring light. I don't think it was even 150 bucks. It was $80 for the microphones, and I think it was like 50 bucks for the stand with the light.
All right.
What are you talking about?
They're talking about doing online events with
Is hybrid webinars.
I have
Brendan's
that set up
hybrid
right now.
webinars.
All right, I'm gonna take over. Welcome back, everybody. Hopefully you enjoyed your discussions. Now we're gonna do our Q&A. Please limit to 1 or 2 questions at a time so we can have a good discussion. Use the raise hand button if possible. If you can't figure it out, just raise your hand in your camera and I'll figure it out. So who's got feedback or question for Melanie? Who wants to start off?
We nominated Dan from our group.
Annie.
Anne,
sorry, Paul.
that's okay. The E is silent. So we had a few questions, and I'll just keep it to 2 of the points we were wondering about. The first is we were curious to hear more about how you are working with your beta customers. What's the kind of relationship with them? How are you incentivizing them? How are you hoping to convert them possibly into paying customers?
Yeah,
And then-
absolutely. So,
Go ahead.
2 of those are two of my beta customers. I knew like I had a personal connection to them and brought them on as our first 2 with like no opportunity of converting them to a paid customer. I was like, hey, will you use this for free and just give me feedback? And that's actually been really great because they are awesome at telling me when there's a bug and just there's a nice transparent relationship because of the way I set that up. 2 of them I pitched like, we are a real product, real business. Here's your 3-month free trial. And there's an opportunity to convert them at the end of February to a paid contract. So hopefully that they are sticking with us and so far are going well. They also have the ability to like, I let them test whatever features they felt were right for their platform or for their company. So like one of my clients is only using the connections feature. One is using connections and challenges. As I mentioned, I'm going to be approaching them to see who wants to set up communities. So it's very flexible to make sure we're making them have a great experience, but also trying to collect some feedback and data for us to use.
And have you been able to sort of collect engagement data and see kind of what they're using and what they're not?
Yeah, so I've definitely been getting feedback on, hey, can you add this? It would be nice to be able to do this. And also some like employee stories or quotes. I will say that I probably made the mistake of when I onboarded those beta customers, especially that one that started with us 6 months ago. I would have loved to have taken a snapshot or a survey of what things were like at the beginning and the end, and I didn't do that. And I learned from that, but I don't have like here was point A, point B data.
Oh, that's really helpful to me actually, because I'm about to start a private alpha. So maybe I'll think
Yeah.
about doing a pre and post kind of assessment with them.
Yeah, even if it's awkward to ask, like all they can do is say no. And I so wish I would have asked to run a survey with their company.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. And then the second sort of question or comment we had was, it seems like maybe Slack and similar capabilities are something of a competitor, since you can do, create groups in there and put in apps. So have you thought about them as a big competitor and how you deal with that competitive challenge?
Yeah, absolutely. So I would say that Slack definitely falls in that team collaboration software bucket, like you're saying. And there is a feature in Slack called Donut that maybe some of your teams have used. And it kind of is a chatbot that jumps into your Slack channel and encourages you to chat with someone new, maybe facilitates that conversation. So it's something that is on our radar for sure. And we just want to build out more functionality than is capable of living in that Slack. And also the people that I speak to on demos or the business leaders that I've talked to is Slack really feels like work to people. And so they associate Slack with work messages. Like I'm getting a work message, where we want Shaka to be a space of play, and maybe something that's a little lighter than Slack. So I think that's a way we can kind of specialize ourselves as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I have used Donut, and I wasn't sure on your competitor slide if I've used the one in Slack, and I wasn't sure if that was the same thing. So that's good to know. So those were our 2 points of feedback. That was helpful. Thanks, Melanie.
Thanks, Ann.
Absolutely.
Okay, who's next? Volunteers. Anybody raise their hand? Questions or feedback? Gregarious, go ahead. And then
I was with Ashley and John and Dan had to leave, but I think we had pretty good discussion. But I guess we were curious. Do you have a freemium sort of version? Because the Slack analog sort of seemed kind of not necessarily competitive, but just more like a good model for how to like deploy and reach into organizations. And I think we were sort of thinking about like culture can feel like this very amorphous thing that like not a lot of companies understand like what the benefit of the investment is. And, but like individual teams may have like more of that like inspiration to sort of do so. Like, so, kind of how Slack started, like an individual team could start it or a person could start it with a couple people. So like, what if the engineering team was like, we need to do like, empathy training because our engineers don't understand like, how to like be around people. And we wanted to stop laughing, Brendan. But yeah, or the finance team, we have like non-asshole training classes. Sorry, see, that was for Brandon. But
you're making a lot of really good points right now.
Like, could you get smaller teams to potentially adopt it first, right? So that they could like maybe socialize it amongst like a smaller group that could then be successful and then telegraph that out to more of the organization.
I think that's an awesome idea. I hadn't thought of approaching it in a freemium model where maybe like if you're just a team using it or like under 20 users or something that you could have it for free. But that's a very interesting suggestion because I have seen that as I talk to more and more HR leaders, business leaders, the cultures that are successful and also the product adoptions like this that are successful are ones that are employee up. Like an employee wants it and they buy in, and then everyone else buys in. And there's companies with culture committees that are employee run rather than like HR run, and those seem to be so much more effective. So I think that's an awesome suggestion. It isn't something I had considered yet. My initial pricing around $3 per user per month, I had kind of justified it as like, would you buy your employee a coffee? Because it's the cost of a coffee. So, but I do think that going the freemium model where maybe a team could use it first, maybe wouldn't take all the approvals of the budget and the CFO and all those things until after they've seen proof of concept. So I like your suggestion and I took notes.
Yeah, we were just the thought there was that the original comment I made like to our group was, I've seen so many Slacks where people don't pay for Slack, right? Like even though they're getting tremendous value out of it, like even the $3 a month per user that it is to like upgrade to Slack or whatever it is actually still too much, right? And so like at a bootstrap company or a small company, yeah, it's $3, but they're fighting like, why do I have to offer chips, right? Like in the break room, or why do we have to do this or that? And so, I think there's a data play there for you also, because as you see the types of activities that come out, and as you learn about like, optimal group sizes and all these other things, you can leverage that for the enterprise side, like potentially like where like those insights, suggestions, other things might be things that you could sort of like, parlay into sort of like added value for like someone with an HR, like think about companies without HR. In California, until you have 30 people under your roof, you don't need HR. I raised like 18 million bucks for my last company. We never had an HR person because we had some people remote. And so we managed to like always start having an HR person for a 50-person company. We did have chips in the break room, by the way.
All right, thank you, Gregarious. Brad.
You should never go after Gregarious. I have to write all new notes. Thank you, Melanie, for presenting and for taking the step to make this work. One of the things I was thinking about is whenever I see something, and I don't want to misclassify you as HR tech, that's a really big, chunky, ugly place to be. But every time we do it, when we're trying to create a value prop, we say, there's 4 steps in HR that matter: recruit, train, deploy, retain. And so when you're pitching this to the people who are trying to get like the numbers analytics people, the ROI, you're probably in the retain bucket, which is perfect, right? That's where everyone bleeds and loses everything, and they don't spend enough time on culture. The couple questions from our group. One was, can you give us a little bit of a sense of what the onboarding process is like? Because one of the people in our group was saying, hey, it's tough to say, you can't just hand somebody an app that says, this is how to do good culture. You have to first see if they understand what good culture means, and then help them use your app to get to there. So can you maybe describe that a little? And I'll have one more question.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think part of the onboarding, but also purchasing process is going to be filling out, where is the struggle with your company? Is it in camaraderie? Is it in the ability, like maybe you have a team of engineers that aren't as great at just like facilitating discussion? Is it in when new employees join, there's like a wall that they can't get over? And that kind of will help us customize like how we roll things out with the organization. And also, I've been working on setting up like a video hub where they can like share videos with their employees about how to use it, how to get onboarded. But I have been considering more and more adding some sort of service of consultation around what is our culture, how do we define it if the company doesn't have anything like that set up, or what do our employees think of our culture now? Maybe I could help facilitate that kind of discussion. Right off the bat, I was hesitant to do that because I maybe had a little bit of the imposter syndrome, and I have been reading and learning more about employee culture, but it's a leap I'll have to take of, am I willing, or not willing, but able enough to consult on this and see how that goes? Because I think that's what you're touching on, is sometimes people need more than just a product. They need some consultative help.
That's the division that's a difficult thing. And so now I get to give the opposite of Greg's advice. I hate freemium models because they don't prove intent to buy. They prove intent to sign up. And at $3, if you can't get somebody to sign up for their 200 employees for $3, then you haven't actually proven that they think your thing is good. Then you're most likely going to fail in the onboarding process, right? Because they haven't even been able to, you haven't been able to pitch well enough. Your product's not aligned. They're not listening to you. COVID happened, whatever it is. So I like to oftentimes, my co-founder and I would talk about 99% discounts, so de minimis amount of money, but they still had to take their card out and give it to you for the value exchange. So now I see two different ways you can go. One is the gregarious, get as many clients on freemium as you can. And I think that's a model that many people have used very successfully and will almost necessitate raising capital just for customer acquisition costs. But the HR tech companies we've seen that were more successful in their first 3 years always added in that consulting piece. They just always did, because they couldn't help people. Good companies don't need the consulting piece, but they don't need the app. Bad companies, if they just start using the app, will use it poorly. So if you're going into companies with mediocre or bad culture, I'd highly suggest adding in the consulting thing. You met Hannah earlier. She's my co-founder. She will help you through imposter syndrome stuff all day long. We still talk about it, and we are coming into our 4th year of doing good stuff. It's a very, very normal founder feeling. And with that, I will thank you for listening.
Thank you.
Thank you, Brad. Great feedback. Let's go with, I think, Jeff. Feedback or question?
Yeah, some of the other comments and questions have nibbled around the edges of this one, but we were curious as to what is your best entree into the company? Is it the HR department? Is it CTO? Is it the CEO? What if they don't have an HR department? What is your, or does it depend on the type of company and the space that they're in?
Absolutely. So this is something I've spent a lot of time thinking about, and also I was able to connect with like another founder of what could be considered an HR platform, and their biggest advice was not to go through HR. Actually, it was to go through a CEO or CFO or CTO, one of those other routes, because HR is seen as a cost center. And so for them to convince the leadership to get another software is much harder than, one of these other people who buy in. And also those founders of businesses, the CEO, the founder, wherever it may be, if they're a good founder, they really do care about their culture. I mean, you hear all the time of founders leaving their company because it wasn't the culture they had intended on building. So I would like to tap into that and really experiment with who is easier to convert to a customer. And I plan on doing some A/B testing with that as I roll out my sales processes. I don't know if you agree with that, but I have been leaning a little bit away from HR just because of some of the views that it may get inside the company. One, it's like, oh, HR is making us do this, or two, it's like, oh, should we really be spending money on another HR software kind of thing.
Great, thanks.
Thank you, Jeff. Ashley, feedback or question?
Hi, Melanie. Thank you so much for your presentation. I really love this idea. One of the thoughts that I had that I thought I'd share with you kind of as I was listening to the presentation is there was this kind of objection raised in my mind when you made the transition from sharing the story, which I thought was a really powerful way to start to kind of saying this is the solution. Because my last experience in a corporate job had, in my opinion, an incredibly weak culture that had nothing to do with our connection with one another as a team. Right. And like Gregarious was saying, culture is such a huge amorphous thing. And if your culture is bad because you have poor leadership or a weak strategy or some of those other things, right, the solution is going to be something very, very different. So I was thinking, if you get more specific in what you mean by culture and the kinds of cultural problems that can be really well addressed by this, people can see that connection more tangibly. Or if you say, hey, if you're growing really rapidly and you cannot keep track of your people and they have no idea who they are, who the rest of the team is, you're all virtual, you can't figure this out, this is a great way to solve that. Or like Gregarious was saying, if you have a small sub team that is really struggling with a specific thing, you can do a community or a challenge around that thing that group is struggling with, right? So if you tie it specifically to kind of tangible cultural problems people might be waking up with, I think they'll resonate a little more, because no one's waking up saying, oh, I need to fix our culture today, right? They're waking up saying,
A very
why are our
specific
customers
problem.
pissed off? Yeah, exactly. Why are our people quitting? Why are our customers pissed off? Why do none of our people know each other? Why aren't they communicating, right? Like those kind of specific, tangible cultural things kind of make that connection really powerful, if that's helpful.
Absolutely, I agree. And I think that our website could be more geared towards, do you feel these things? Because if so, then you should talk with us rather than, like you're saying, an overarching culture. That's really good feedback. Because I have identified those problems, but maybe I explain it a little more broadly than I should be doing so that people identify very closely with, like, oh, she's trying to solve this and that is my problem.
Mhm. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ashley. Great feedback. Final question. Anybody want it? Question or feedback? Going once, twice. I'll take it. Melanie, what as a community can we do for you?
So as I like travel to these different cities, one of the most important things for me to learn is about like what groups have you been a part of or do you know of in your city that would be good to bring this to? Maybe it's like SHRM is a nationwide one, but I've heard about local events that are based on culture, HR, business leadership, things like that. And then also as I transition into sales mode here, if any of you all have tools or softwares that you've used that really helped you be successful in your startup, especially if you were B2B, please let me know as I'm in the process of evaluating what do I want to use, how do I want to leverage it to really outreach to customers initially.
Well, let's give Melanie a big round of applause. Oh, wait. Gregarious, were you supposed to do that? I apologize. I'm so used to it. It's default, but I'll try to default.
It's okay if you want to do it, Nick.
I don't get it. Anyway, Melanie, go ahead and shoot your email address again so people can connect with you. But I will share your information on our LinkedIn group as well, and all the links that Gregarious shared too. Moving on. Anybody have any community announcements they want to share? Events going on that they're attending or hosting?
I do.
All right. Ben first. Go ahead, Ben.
Oh, I'm sorry. I can't see everybody, so I just kind of spoke. So if you follow me at Beanie Sleeper on Instagram, I do have a new live Instagram live event that I'm doing. It might be a bi-weekly, I'm not sure. It's called Sleeping with Ben. So basically, I'm going to be interviewing people in various spaces like this. My first interview is with this guy, Seth from Sleepably. He's a sleep coach. And we're going to talk about coronasomnia, which apparently is a real thing. It's really going to be more fun than like serious. I mean, I'm going to shoot it in my bedroom with me under the covers. Well, not under the covers, but have a nightcap on. And he's going to be wherever. Sleeping with Ben. It's going to be this coming a week from tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern.
And Ben, this event will not put you to sleep?
I hope not. I mean, I offer great chat and cuddles. So we'll see if that works. And at the end of the event, I put a notch in my bedpost. So we'll see.
Awesome. Okay, up next, Brendan, do you have something you want to announce?
I have to follow that. Yeah, so I'm doing financial workshop this afternoon at 4 o'clock, and we're doing it at the Tap and Burger at Bellevue Station, which is in DTC. We overlapped it with the happy hour, so it'll be a great workshop and everything like that if you want some free education. But more importantly, the restaurant got hit pretty hard with the COVID everything going on. So if you just want to come get some really good beer and some sliders and just hang out, that's cool too. We're just hosting it at the restaurant to try to help them get back on their feet. So that'll be this afternoon, 4 o'clock, Bellevue Station, which is in the DTC area.
Share a link. People are probably not writing that down. Hannah.
Hey, everybody. Every Monday, we host an event called Open Forum, and it's come as you are for as long as you can. So hop in at 4:30 for a couple of hours or hop in at any point, even if it's just for a couple of minutes. At Open Forum, we talk about everything from trends that we're noticing in our, special perspective as founders to how to show up as leaders, especially when it feels like the rest of the world is falling apart. So we'd love to have you. This is for founders only. So like I said earlier, no vendors, no investors, no selling, just a founder community. I'll drop my email in the chat if anybody's interested in joining us.
Thank you, Hannah. I lost all my squares. Anybody else have an announcement? Going once, twice. Okay. Cool. Moving on. Quick reminder, our website, 1millioncups.com/Denver. This is where you can apply to present. If you have a business or an idea, please apply. Also, please invite some friends, coworkers. We do this every Wednesday, 9 a.m. via Zoom. And also our website will give more information about who presented today and previous weeks as well. Quick reminder, you guys are all awesome. I really appreciate you guys come out here each week using an hour of your time. I really appreciate it. So thank you and keep on being awesome. I know you guys have been sweating and really worried about this question. So it's time. What is 1 Million Cups Denver Super Bowl prediction? Is it Kansas City? Is it Tampa? Is it sports? You guys just love sports in general. So everybody's a winner on Super Bowl Sunday. After this, we're going to break out to breakout rooms. So if you want to hang out and network, I will create some breakout rooms so you can get to know each other a little bit. We'll do it for about 10-15 minutes. If you're interested on rewatching these videos at all, we do post them on YouTube as well. But I want to thank everybody for coming out. If you got to go ahead. If you want to stick around and network, I'm going to create some breakout rooms. And the question for today, icebreaker question, if you want to need some help with conversations, are you an early bird or a night owl? That's the question for today. So let's just give a quick round of applause for everybody for coming out today. Oh, gregarious, claps, go, sorry. All right. So if you need to go ahead. If not, I'm going to create some breakout rooms. And after the breakout rooms, then you guys can go on the rest of your day. All right, let me get this going. We have about 12 people still here. Cool, all right. Move people around, okay.
You think the Rockies GM will get Executive of the Year this year?
I don't know.
Yep. It's Gage in the room. Nobody got that joke. Nobody watches sports.
Here, delete room. I need to figure this out. Okay, sorry guys. Zoom is not.
Melanie, are you actually in Irvine right now?
Yeah, I'm in Irvine.
Irvine's what broke the camel's back of me living in California in 2006. It's just there was just the row houses and not that it's a bad place, and UCI is a great school, but it's just fun to hear Irvine because that's the last place I lived in California. Then it came out to the holy promised land of Colorado. Yeah.
I'm surprised. I'm 15 minutes from the beach. I have mountain views from where I live. It's not too bad to me.
Yeah, those car manufacturers, it's terrible.
Oh yeah, there's so many.
Kevin's not here. Oh, shit. Oh, Kevin is here. It's really good at like Kevin, you're back.
My video dropped there.
Okay. Do you want me to reassign you to?
Yeah, if you could possibly put me back in with Paul and Gregarious, I'd happily do it. Otherwise, happy to jump in with you all.
No, it's cool. I'm just doing some work, but yeah, I'll put you with them.
Cool. Thank you.
everybody leave? Oh, okay. There are no more rooms now. That's okay. I'm still there.